Do 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 do. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so I need to reboot the airplane. I think my suspicion is that it was because the nav data was out of date. I think it's because the old panel state had nav data that was out of date, and it didn't like that at all. Anyway. It seems to be fixed, so we've resolved the problem now, and all is well. So we can get on with the route. Jesus. Okay, let's try this again. So, route request. Okay. Alright. So let's load the route. Oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Right, we need a call sign, so why don't we be... we're in the aero logic one again, so let's be box 222. There you go. Right, so the route is in... Great, VBUS. That's what we want. Departure. Yay! It's... Oh no, hang on. We're going off 13. There you go. Let's go on the VBUS to Charlie. There you go. And then the arrival. We said it was the. In fact, let me try the VOR. The VOR D Charlie to right. I think that might work. Okay, we'll come back, we'll play around with all that a little bit later on. What did we say the star was? We said the star was going to be... It's really annoying when you've already done all this once. It's going to be the Abla 6 Romeo. Okay. We'll throw that in and then we can fiddle around with the arrival a little bit later on. Let's just get the hell out of here. So zero fuel weight is going to be 200. Yeah, okay, wind, got you. And then the reserves we are saying is going to be, we said 6.5, didn't we? To go to Marseille. And then let's fly a little bit lower on Chris's recommendation, which is 360. We'll do a cost index of, the flight plan's going to be 48, which seems very fast. Let's go a bit slower than that, 39. That'll do. Cruise CFG 20. Thrust limit, so we said 65, we're going to derate to, and what else did it say? So we're going to take flaps 5, takeoff 1. Oops, let's put that in again. 65, there you go. And then flap 5. Takeoff 1, CFG, that populates, and then it's saying 45, 45, 49. How does that compare? 38, 38, 42. Oh, it's not many miles away. Oops. You know what? I'm just going to take the aeroplane speeds. That works. Okay. So there we go. So flaps set, we've got that set, we've got the speeds in. Take a page 2. We've got the acceleration 15 and climb at 15. Okay, that all seems pretty good to me. And I'm running with 8.3. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we're going to leave that on the climb page. We're going to set that to RTO. We are going to put the flight directors on. We're going to press LNAV VNAV. We're going to set this to 149. We're going to dial that in, and we're going to put this on the runway heading. And the initial altitude, I think from the chart, was 9,000 feet. If I remember correctly. Yeah. So it's 9,000, so that's set. Cool. Alright. We need Malaga for this, so we're just going to leave that there. What haven't we done yet? Got the APU running. Have we got all the stuff disconnected outside? Ground connections. Wheel chocks. We can get those taken away now. And then let me open the doors and then close them again so that we can arm them. Close, close, close. Close, close. Arm and arm. Cool. Alright. The FMC is screaming at me, so it needs me to do uplink the wind, so we'll do that now. And the descent forecast is ready as well, so let's upload that as well. And the transition level is not 180, I think it's 60, but we can come along and change that later on. Alright, we'll do that later. In fact, we can do that on the VNAV page, can't we? Climb, cruise, descent, forecast, transition level 60. Why would it not let me change that? Maybe it's 6,000. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the problem. Okay, so takeoff ref page. Doors are armed and they're all closed, and the chocks are away as well. So that's all good. So I'm gonna leave that on the VNAV climb page. Cool. Okay. Now I see why he couldn't see our posts. Sad life. By the way, Ben, hi. Hi, Brandon. Hi, D. Alexander. Yeah, I know. I've got that now, boys. Thank you. Right. So what have we done? The TCAS is ready to go. That's anything that we haven't done. Quick tactical press of the traffic button, because that is a little gotcha in the 777. So let's press the doors page, and that should get rid of that, and then we can bring up the checklist, which should be on pre-flight. So oxygen, we've done that. Flight instruments, done, and park and brake. Good job we're not rolled away when he took the chocks out, but we got away with that. And that's it. So now we just need to do the before takeoff stuff. So let's just make sure that we've done everything. Do we have the 5 items showing in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Park and brake doors, auto brake, seatbelts on, and APU running. So that's all good. So before start checklist, so MCP, we've got V2 149, initial heading 134, 9,000 set. Takeoff speeds 45, 45, and 49. CDU pre-flight is complete. Need to do the trim. For that we need to pressurize the hydraulics. So we're going to do this one first. And then this one and this one. My wife's just walked in from watching the film. Was it good? Yeah, that was good. Big smiles all around from my wife. We're going to get the fuel pumps on, and then we're going to set the trim. And the trim we need is 4, so that's alright. That's pretty much there. Takeoff briefing. Where are we going? We're going off 1-3, so that's down there. So we're just going to, we don't need to get pushed back here. We're going to go down this yellow line, and then right, and then down to the end of 1-3, and spin around. And that's pretty much it. And then the beacon is on, and that is the before start checklist complete. Okay. Is this to Dubai to Sydney? No, we're not going to Dubai. We're going from Malaga to Nice. Iraq 1609 should be 1610. Someone told you that. It's a short replay below. The Iraq 1610? Really? Is that true? August 18th, September 14th. What's the date today? September. Oh yeah, okay. It's 2 days out of date. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder why it's not telling me this is out of date though. Maybe it gives you a couple of days before it shouts at you. I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right, I must update that. I'm using the Aerosoft one now. Rather than the Navigraph one. Yeah, sorry, my wife's asking me lots of questions. So, yeah, it's okay. It's alright. Cool, alright. Sorry about that. It's like, you got a little kiss with my wife as well. Yeah, good night. Sorry about that, guys. Got a bit distracted with my wife. Right, okay. So, what have we done? We've done the before start checklist. I was distracted by being kissed by my wife, so I don't think that's a normal problem in a 777. So we've done fuel, we've done that, we've done everything, we've done it before, takeoff check, before start procedure. So what we're going to do now is talk to the ground guy, but we don't have one of those, so we don't need to worry about that. And then we press recall, and we'll get engine shutdown and TCAS off. And according to this, we display we go to transponder, TARA, and engine shutdown is the only thing that we should see, and we do. So that is all good. Right. So let's bring the engine page up, and let's get the engine started, and let's get the hell out of here. So my understanding is that you don't need to worry too much about when you throw the fuel in the triple. You just bang it in. Kissing the wifey is always welcome before a flight. Yeah. Boxes don't need announcements. No, they don't really. No, they don't. Our large supply of Spanish ham does not need a welcome PA, does it? Just reading Alexander saying the registration plate's bugging me. Still don't get what PMDG can't create a real plate with the cell cow. Surely it could be added later. There must be some clever people who can add this later on. Okay, so we've got one good start. So let's start number one. Throw it in, and I seem to remember something from 777 course that is not finished yet and still working on that. The important things are the oil pressure and making sure that the N2 and the M1 that they actually start moving together, because if one of them is moving the other one isn't, then it's not normally a good sign. I think it's if the N1 fan, if the fan blade sometimes, if it's very icy, stick to the casing of the engine, and then the engine starts, but the fan can't turn because it's frozen. And that's very, very bad, apparently. Having cell cows an easy job for a repainter. Fuel control switch goes on when oil pressure indicated. Alright. See, we're trying to outdo one another with our 777 knowledge in the chat, which is good. I like this. I like it. Okay, so that's two good starts, so we're happy with that. So now the after start flow is the APU comes to off, and we can lose the engine page now, and then we call for the flaps, which is flap 5 in this case, and the control check we don't do till the flaps are down, and we don't need to bring up the flight control page because apparently the airplane will tell us if there's a problem, so we don't need to press that, we just do it. Is the ease up X button working now? No, it's not. No, I'm pressing X and it's not working. My P3D is not happy. Brandon does his own repaints. Cool. Right, so let's do the control checks. Forward, belly check, all that. Rudder, and hide the yoke again. Okay, so we've done that. AP selector's off. We don't need anti-ice. So a quick recall now. That's good. So the before taxi checklist now. So the anti-ice is not required. The recall was checked. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment is clear. That is the before taxi checklist complete. Okay, cool. Right then. So taxi light on. We don't need the turn off lights in the day, so I'm told. Oh man, let's go. God, this feels this was supposed to be a little short, just a short little hop. It's not quite not quite turned out that way. You could do the control check when the flaps are moving. Apparently not. Apparently the controls sometimes get jammed up on one another, so what you want to do is get the flaps down, and then after the flaps are down, then do the control check, apparently. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, but somewhere, to someone in the world, it'll make a difference. Okay, some kind of weird stuff going on with the textures here at Malaga. I hope they did test this in P3D. Alright, so we did the full length. So I think the full length would involve just going... Well, actually, no, we don't need to... it's not going to get us any more runway, is it? So, let's pull up to the hold there at Hotel November. Will do. Alright, so... Let's stick the parking brake on for a second. Let's do the takeoff review. So we want flap 5 selected and indicated. We have runway. What are we saying? Runway 13, which is out there. So we're not about to line up on the wrong runway, which is always good. V2 set to 149. We got Turga, LNAV, VNAV. We've got 9,000 feet set. We've got 134 on the runaway heading. We have the correct SID. We've got the stabilizer trim. That's set to 4. We're happy with that. It's in the green. Transponder 6603, and it's on TARA. And that's the takeoff review complete. Takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist rather. That's flap 5. That is set. Okay, let's get on the runway, let's get out of here. Park and brake off. Adrian says my ETSUP profile is nice, thanks man. It's very kind of you. We spent a long time setting it up. I don't know what's going on with the textures here. This is kind of weird. Looks like a scenery layer issue. I wonder whether it might be because it's going dark now, so it's that kind of weird, not quite day, not quite dark thing that the simulators sometimes struggle a bit with, but who knows. Alright, so terrain on. We've got all the lights on, life is good. We've got the flaps down, so we're not going to kill ourselves. And let's get the hell out of here. the chrono, 50%. Toga. Thrust ref. Thrust set. AT. This is quite a big D-rate, this. There's V1, rotates. Up we come. Okay, there's positive climb, and gear up. Okay, let's get the autopilot in. I have no desire to show my hand flying skills today. So there we go, goodbye Malaga, farewell. Fewer topless women though, sadly, for Chris, our real 777 pilot. Alright, so we're waiting now for the climb power, which should appear, I think, at 1500 feet, if I remember correctly from what we set in the Takeoff 2 page. There you go, there's climb 2. And the airplane's now bugged to 240 knots, so it's lowering the nose and it's going to accelerate. Now, my suspicion is that this is quite a tight turn at 240 knots, but we'll see how we get on. So we're coming through the flap 5 speed now. Within 20 knots we can go to flap 1. We'll go to flaps up. And we'll see if we can manage to make this turn at 250 knots. There's no limit on the SID, so supposedly it can. We'll soon find out. Okay, so after takeoff checks then. Landing is up, and the flaps are up. And we'll turn off the taxi and runway turn off lights and so on. Okay, farewell Spain, it's been nice knowing you. There's the turn. So I'll chat with you in the comments in a moment, guys. Let's just get ourselves up. We'll do a bit of a sterile cockpit below kind of 15,000 feet. I'll just keep pushing the heading bug around in case the VNAV craps out, which it may do. Okay, let's keep the climb going. I don't want to level out at 9,000, so let's go up to 19. Climb at the flaps, manoeuvring speed with speed intervene. So you mean that? Roll the speed back. That's going to climb us up like a crazy fool, isn't it? Push the attitude selector. Oh, okay. All right. VNAV speed. Yeah, got you. All right. I wonder why it was slowing down, that's why. Okay, so at this speed we should climb like a homesick angel, shouldn't we? Yeah, there you go. 3,000, 4,000 feet a minute. Looks like it's struggling a little bit with this this particular bit. Not sure you saw it. Do you know how to get the compacted engine screen on the upper ICAS? Yeah, it's some weird funky combination of pressing buttons. They don't actually, well, Emirates didn't do it, so neither of our United didn't do it either, so I disregarded how to do it, but do tell, and I can show everyone. So we're through 10 now. Let's get rid of the landing lights. Let's get the seatbelt signs to auto. And there's a little ship, a wee little ship. There's Malaga Airport. The haze effect is. Do you have this? The haze effect is called PTA. It's called Prepared Tweak Assistant, and you can get a little. You can get plugins, well not plugins, but kind of little INI files that various people have made, and just find one that you like. Okay, so move the switch below the ND to the right so it points to ICAS. You mean that one. Oh, to the left you mean? And then click the left inboard display. Left inboard. And then press engine. Okay, so that didn't work. That did not work. Okay, that's all gone a bit weird. Okay. That moment when you wish you hadn't pressed the buttons. Alright, let's keep the climb going while I fix this. Okay, so we're through the transition. Let's hit standard. Right, how do I get my nav display back? Left inboard. Oh, Jesus. Inboard nav. There you go. Okay. I think I'll leave the compacted engine display for another time. That's the display on my side. Okay, move it to the right so it says ICAS. Then click the left inboard. And click engine. Okay, and then put it back to nav. Is that right? Oh, there you go. Ah, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's quite useful, but I remember asking Myron, my salty old United 777 captain, about this, and he just kind of scowled at me. I was in a what? So I sense that they don't do it in the real air. Well, most guys don't do it in the real airplane, and I know Emirates don't. I think that's because it will pop up in the engine display down here if you've got a problem, and it won't if you've got the expanded display on or something. So get rid of it, press engine and get, okay, yeah, and then it puts it down there. Okay. Would have been nice if Boeing had just, if you pressed engine like 3 times in a row, it just did it. This whole thing is slightly reminiscent of the Dash 8 in the way that it works. It's a little bit kind of like press 3 buttons and rub your head and pat your tummy at the same time. But yeah. Yeah, we're still on speed hold, but we're going up nice and fast. But you're right, we can probably get rid of the speed intervene now. Just means that the climb will be a little bit shallower. Okay, so we're not looking too bad. Where are we going? We're going to 36, did we say? Yep. Okay. So top of climb now. Where's top of descent? All the way up there. We might use a little bit of time compression to speed things up, guys. Look, 10 minutes in. We're 10 minutes from takeoff and already I'm bored of the cruise. This is probably why I would have never made a 777 pilot in real life, because the real guys now have to sit here for the next, 14 hours. And after 10 minutes I'm bored and want to press more buttons. Right, now I'm just going to whiz back through the chat because I was a little bit busy there. Let me see if I missed anything. I think I got most of it. I've got positive rate. Yeah, well, doesn't matter. The other guy would call that. Is it going to be an A330 training program? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I don't know an A330 guy. It depends how good it is as well. If it's really well modelled, then maybe we'll do an A330, but I don't know yet. Is it cruise still 410? No, we've brought it down to 360, but saying that, actually, quite a long cruise still, so I think we probably could go up to, let's go to 38. Now, I seem to remember, if we just change the altitude there, and then press it, then it should update the, there you go, should update the cruise altitude in there. Cool. So I got the bit about the compacted engine display. That was all good fun. Matthew, I'm pretty sure you couldn't lean that far over to the FO window without falling on the thrust levers. Yeah, you're probably right. It's carryover from the 767. Okay, that I didn't know. Because isn't the actual flight deck of the 777, like the front bit, isn't this the nose bit the same as the 767s? Isn't it the same nose? How much would a controller yell at you if you tried a low speed climb in real life? No, I think it's okay. I think you can climb at that speed if you want, unless someone's behind you. Because the slower you climb, the quicker you go up. So you do get to the climb. You get to cruise altitude quick. Time to eat, says Chris. All right, Chris, come back when. Come back for Nice, please. We may need you. Right, heading bug. Around to this side. Keep the heading bug where we want to go. Hugo says he's got 2 hours left until Seattle. Yeah, I know. I suppose in the real aeroplane, though, once you're there, then you're in Seattle. So that's that's kind of cool. In the sim, I don't really know I don't know. I don't really get the point of flying to Sydney and sitting at the computer for 15 hours because you're still at home. You're not even in Sydney. Live ATC, station behind Nice, that's approach and tower feed, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. That might be one for the next time. So, I think we're over land at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell, really. This haze tends to make everything look like, yeah, there you go. The blue haze is kind of nice, but there are times when it's kind of hard to distinguish between the land and the sea. This is the slightly less blue version. Progress page. So I need to go into the VNav cruise page, don't I? Is that right? There you go. So the optimum is 383. The max is 394. The recommended is 320. Okay, Chris, here's a question for you. What's the difference between the optimum and the recommended? So why is the recommended a lot lower than the optimum? Surely the optimum is the recommended, right? Got a nice little tailwind blowing us along, which is cool. Cost and wind. Alright, got you. I can change the plane in the next stream. No, this will be the AirLine2Stream tonight. It was supposed to be a really kind of short thing, just up to Nice, and we would have been probably in the descent by now had the aeroplane not broken itself on the ground. But never mind. Okay, now one thing I can do is I set the Transalt for the other end. That's 60. That's fine. Okay, right, now going back to my little SOP list here. So it says top of climb procedure, set radar for the cruise. Well, I didn't actually turn the weather radar on because the weather is really nice, but we could probably just throw it on. The reason I try not to use it, I always forget to turn it off on the ground, and I end up frying the poor pushback guy. The poor GSX pushback man is not going to be having any children anytime soon. So set the radar, check the fuel page, so I guess that's in progress. So 7.7 at Nice, that's okay. If you load 0 into step, it'll stop telling you to step. Okay, so cruise. So step 2, if I just put 0 into or put 0 in there, is that it? Cool. I did panic for a moment because the others vanished, but that's all good. It's good to see PMDG model it quite nicely though, it all works. That's a lot of waypoints. Give us also direct too. Yeah, it is quite a lot of waypoints, isn't it, really? But they are all pretty much, they're all lined up. I mean, even if I take them out, it's not going to give us any shortcuts, is it? Alright. Tell you what, while we've got a few minutes, so we're in the cruise now. Just make sure I've done everything. So seatbelts are on auto, all the lights are off. I don't think there's anything else I've forgotten up here, so that's all good. Right, let's have a look at this arrival then now, because I'm not sure that all worked out. So go back to the charts. Let's close this. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so we want the RNAV GNSS D 22 right, which is that one. So index arrival RNAV D 22 right. Okay, so we've got that. And the transition, well, Nerax, that's the go around, so we're not coming from there. It's either Nanax or Sovex, I guess. But it's not giving me either of those as hang on. Nope. Okay. But it is giving me the intersection, so let's throw it in to see what it does when we get there. PMDG's excellent. So minus stop it, you can fly the sim, you fly the sim, you can fly the real sim. Cool. Ping 0 and that used to bug out the FMC before the last patch fixed it. Oh, okay. That's a good job they fixed it. Okay, so let's have a look. Where we go? That's VLC, that's Valencia, I think. So we're still over Spain. And then the Barcelona, Ablac. So MSUNB and then Nanax. Oh, okay, so Nanax is in there. Okay, so it's not giving me it as a transition, it's just giving me it as the next waypoint. So let's put that in there. Nice land 22 left, depart 22 right. No, I think they land 22 right and depart 22 left, if I remember. I do have some special crew notes for Nice that I can't show you from an airline somewhere hot, and it very definitely says they land on 22 right, and it's also got lots and lots of notes about how you do this that I can't share with you either. Okay, so Nanax 3000, and then MAP22 at 1260, so I think that matches up with the chart pretty much. So Nanax 3000, MAP22. Now, when I practiced this before in the aeroplane, the RNAV track doesn't follow this. The RNAV track just goes straight to the airport, so if you leave it in RNAV, it will just fly straight to the airport and you'll crash. And you can actually see this here. If I zoom, if I step through it, you can actually see. So there you go. So from the missed approach point, it will just bring you to the end of the runway, and obviously that isn't going to work because we can't fly from here to here because we're going to die. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically, when we get to Nanax, I could draw a fix from Nanax on the 303 and point it down this way, and then just leave it in heading select going this way for as long as I dare. And there is a bit more detail, so basically here, so from MAP22 down to 1,000 feet, and then you turn around and set the PAPI, so you don't actually fly over the coast at any point here. You stay over the water, so I don't know. This is quite tricky in the sim. This is not easy. But hey, what's the worst that can happen? Dr. Pepper. All right, it'll be fine. Anyway, I'm glad we've figured out the arrivals. That's one bit of relief. Right, what's going on in the chat? Jellyvirus, hi. There's going to be an A330. I answered that before, maybe. We'll see. Dear Alexander, by the way, Scribd link costs money to buy a Scribd account. It's a free one. Don't know. There's loads and loads of resources on Scribd or Scribd or whatever it's called. There's a ton of stuff in there about, well, not just the 777, but everything. The 737, the A320. Lots of people have uploaded stuff that might help you. Adding Sovex might help, says Chris. So adding Sovex. Well, isn't Sovex is it not already in there? Oh no, it's not in there. So are you saying go to Sovex first? And this landing is 22 right. Take off for 22 left. Correct. Oh, okay, right. I got you. Yeah, okay. So if I manually add Sovex before Nanax, is that what you're saying? Okay, that makes sense. So if I click on there, put Nanax in the scratch pad, do that. Okay, let's have a look in the plan page and see what it's doing there. Ah, yeah, okay, I got you. So there's Sovex. Okay. Okay, so where are we then? So that's Valencia, I think, just ahead, which is where we flew in the FS Labs A320 video a little while ago, to Ibiza, which is just out there somewhere. In fact, if I zoom out a little bit on the nav display, we should see a little bit of the MAD. Yeah, there you go. So I think the little one is Ibiza, and the big one is Mallorca. I think that this bit on the right hand side, this is the coast of North Africa, so that would be I don't know, is it Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, that kind of area? I don't think we won't be going there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it's a little bit early, but I'm going to use a little bit of time compression to speed things up a little bit. So let's have a think about the arrival and anything we need to tune and all that good stuff. So what do we got? So we've got the Nice NDB might be quite handy. So that's 338. Okay, what's Chris saying? Be tight there with the speed restriction. Speed the enemy. Think about slowing down. Configured early. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking let's bring up the map. So in terms of the profile, I'm thinking we can probably kind of max 210 at Nanax. So probably just kind of min clean it, kind of Sovex to Nanax, and then from Nanax we're going to fly level along to this point here, MN410. So we've got quite a while really. Well, actually 3 miles, so it's not that long, is it really? So I'm kind of thinking maybe kind of flap 5, kind of 180-ish knots for that bit. And then by the time we get halfway down here, then we want to have gear and flaps and everything. So by the time we get to MAP 22, then we're fully configured to go around the corner. Think about Nanax being 8 mile final. Yeah, okay. So thinking about Nanax being the point at which we want to be configured then, yeah? Okay. Alright. So I think the NC, throwing the NC in is probably a good shout. So let's throw the NC on the right hand side there. Oh, no, hang on, what am I doing? Oh, you can't put the letter in the 777. I'm thinking I'm in an Airbus where you can. 338. Okay. So you're saying MN410 configured. Okay, alright. So everything, the full wang by MN410 with gear and everything. Yeah, okay. That'll make sense. Okay, what else do we need? We need the VOR, because it is partly a VOR approach. Or we're using the last bit of the VOR to help us. Where is the... So we can have a look at the... Okay, the AZR, that's what I was looking for. 10965, that's actually on the airfield itself, so that could be quite useful as well. So we'll have AZR. Okay, so we'll have the ADF on that one, we'll have the VOR on that one, and then we'll have the VOR on that side as well. Instead of doing some big turn over the city while trying to extend the flap, and have us make fun naturally. Yeah, okay, alright. So steady away is the aim of the game here, right? Okay, let me just get some lights on. It's just going to hit the frames for a moment while we do that. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a tricky time of the day for the sim. The sim doesn't really like twilight because it's not quite day, it's not quite night. So, I didn't pick the greatest time of the day to do this, but never mind. Looks nice though. So I think that's Valencia down there. You're talking about the Turkish airplane trying to land at Nice. Yeah, well, I think wasn't this the approach that they screwed up? Wasn't it the 2-2? Because they didn't they. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think what they. Where's my kneeboard? I think they got this bit wrong. So rather than staying over the sea, didn't they come over the high? Because there's some high ground here, isn't there? And I think they went too far inland. I think. Could be wrong. I'm not one to judge. Right, now I think 2 would probably work quite well for this. 7.8, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, so 6 tons of fuel, call it, between friends, between now and then. So what are we now, 214, so call it 208. I mean, it's going to make pretty little difference. We're going to be landing flap 30 and 137, that hasn't changed. Still got the altimeter on the departure QNH, I should change that. Is there a button above the window here that says service interphone? Yeah. Well, there is on the... yeah, it's there. I think that's to talk to the ground crew, isn't it? I think Chris will be able to tell you what that does. Okay, so let's have a look at the weather. Let's see what the weather is going to... What the weather we're going to be faced with. So, it's quite windy. 210 at 18, 24 degrees, 17. The dew point and the pressure is 1011. Okay, there you go. Okay, and then we need some minimums. So I think the minimum is at 1200 feet for this. 1260. Okay. I think that's about it, really. I think we're pretty much ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed us up to the top of descent, but before I do that I just want to make sure we've kind of done everything. So we've set the departure and arrival, we've selected the approach, we've modified the legs, we've done the navrad, set the baro, which is 1011, we set the baro mids, which is 1260. Set the VREF, flap 30, 137, and the auto brake is set to 2. We could do the landing performance for Nice, but it's fine. It's a pretty long runway. I'm confident we'll stop. 777s operate here every day, so it's not a problem. And then let's talk about the chart, the terrain, the weather on the operational, the fuel. Well, we've already looked at the chart and been slightly terrified by it, so it's going to be the RNAV to 22 right. So we're going to come in on the start, we're going to come into Solvex, NADEX, and we're going to be fully established by MN 410 with the gear down and everything. And then we're going to fly down to the missed approach point here, which is 1200 feet, and we're going to do all this in RNAV and LNAV and VNAV. And then we'll just whack it into heading select. We're going to continue straight on until we chicken out down to 1,000 feet, and then hopefully we should be visual. That's the plan. If we go around, then it's a right turn to come back to MN412 Neras, where we're going to be 2,000 or above. Climb the holding to 3,000. Okay, what are we going to do when we land? If we manage to make it down in one piece, what happens then? Alright, so there's 22 right. And where is the cargo parking? Because that's where we're going over here. Alright, there you go. So we're going to land on 22 right. Don't think we'll be off by Foxtrot 1. I think that might be a little bit ambitious. So maybe Charlie 1. Charlie, and then off into the corner, and then we'll park somewhere big enough for a triple. 40A looks like it might work, but if we make it that far and we're still alive, I'll be astonished. Have a look at the approach plate for minimum altitude. Yeah, 1260. So we've got that. Do you guys know what the button close cowl is for? I don't know. Chris might know. Bought Flight Factor's 777. Took me an hour to get the engine started. I'm Airbus guy. Never seen a Boeing before. Yeah, it's not quite as good, the Flight Factor one, I'm afraid. After the PMDG, it feels a little bit toy-like, unfortunately. Switch review, says Chris. So is that checking that all the switches are in the right place? Tell me how the Air Canada switch review works. Emirates Park, 777 at gate 148. Don't think the cargo ramp's seen 777 before. No, maybe not. Okay, so 1 engaged, MCP altitude 1260, VNAV engaged, beginning to V. Okay, so is that what we're doing at the final approach fix? Because I have the Emirates SAP and the United SAP, which is both slightly different, but the non-ILS approach using VNAV says call for flaps, according to schedule, on the intercept heading, arm LNAV, 2 to 3 miles before the final approach fix, and after alt VNAV path or VNAV alt, you set the MDA, and then select VNAV, and then engage speed intervention, approaching the glide path, gear down flaps 20, arm the speed brakes, and then beginning the final descent, call flaps landing checklist, and the 300 feet below the minimum altitude, set the go around altitude. There's a lot to do, right? Very late. Okay, once I'm inside Nanax. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. So let's, what I'm going to do, boys, is I'm going to stick it into heading select, because it doesn't like auto cruise in LNAV very much. So let's go to auto cruise, and let's speed this show up a little bit. Looking beautiful there inside. Turn off the autopilot at 10,000. Yeah. No, we won't be doing that. We'll be leaving the autopilot in fairly late. So the sim's running at 8 times the speed. Now, I bet Chris wishes he could do this in the real one. Okay, you consider auto brake 3, yeah, okay. A little bit off the track as well, so let me just bring this back left a little bit, otherwise when we go back into LNAV, all the fuel and progress page will be wildly out. Put it at 4. No, I don't think we need auto brake 4, I think that's the 777's a pretty good stopper. I did practice this before, by the way, but it wasn't at night. It was in the day, so this is now at night. So we're now going to do a circle to land approach in the 777 at night. Yay! Okay, top of descent, 160 miles, so I will stop us about about 10, 15 miles before the top of descent, which gives us enough time to do the checklist, and then we'll get on our way down. Yeah, if you're not on P3D, then you're wasting time. FSX is old news these days. Okay, where are we then? So there's 80 miles, so I will stop us in about 30, 40 miles. Also time compression, it's the best idea ever. Yeah, you do need the 777 for P3D. Yeah, you've got to buy it again, unfortunately, but it's worth it. You know, the PMDG stuff is the best stuff out there. I mean, it really is the best stuff out there. There's no question about that. Apart from when it gets confused about the panel state, which happened earlier. But apart from that, we'll forgive that. Okay, that'll do. So reload, hopefully it won't crash. Alright, let me get the... Okay, I'll go straight to Diver. That should sort itself out in nav. There you go. Alright, cool. So this is a tutorial just for fun. No, this is just for fun. We're flying the 777 into Nice. We do have a real 777 pilot in the stream, who's Chris, so say hello. He is giving me some helpful guidance so that I don't completely screw it all up. So let's come down then. Let's get down to 22, do for starters. And let's run the descent checklist. So recall, checked. Notes. Try not to die. Auto brake 3. Landing data VREF. So VREF is flap 30 137. And barrow is 1260. And the approach briefing is kind of complete. As complete as it ever will be. No, there's no cam on the triple, so we're in the freighter, so there's no cam on this. You can actually see the button there. That's where it would be on the other ones. By the way, it's Chris with a K, K-R-I-S. Don't upset him. Don't upset him. He's like the Incredible Hulk. You call him Chris with a C-H, he goes crazy. Don't make him angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. Okay, I thought we were beyond the top of the descent point, but seemingly not. Okay. No, I'm only joking. The Chris thing, that was a joke, by the way. Alright, so we're coming down, we have idle, which is what we want to see, and we've got the AZR VORs now tuned, 335 miles to go, as you can see, and we're doing quite nicely. It's big. Yeah, Chris used to fly the Q400 and the smaller one, the Q200 before that. Chris, is that right? So it's quite a big leap from a Q400 to a 777. A bit like me, actually. That's kind of what I've done in the virtual world. I've gone from the Q400 to the 777. Alright, so our black, flight level 200 or below, and then Abili at 120 or above. Okay. So let's see where the airplane actually wants to be at this altitude. So our black is 229, so that's fine. And then 1200 or above. Fine. That's flight level 200, so I mean, miles above that. And then 160 or below. Where does it want to be? Got Amphu. Okay, 156. That's perfect. So that's below 160. So that's all good. Okay, so I'm a little bit below the profile because I just recalculated it all. 747 is a camel in my eyes. Yeah. We're all quite excited about the 747 coming out. Okay, I'm going to give us a little shortcut, guys. Let's go direct to our black. Save a little bit of time. Yeah, Chris is one of several people who I fired random questions to in the middle of the night. So Chris, how do you do this again? Ah, okay. I just got your message there, Chris. That's all good. That's all good. Chris is now fielding a bunch of questions in the chat. Yeah. Chris will not tell you which airline he works for, you'll just have to guess. He flies for Air Kyrgyzstan, the only operator of the 777 in the former Soviet Union. Okay, let's give ourselves another little shortcut. Let's keep the show on the road. French air traffic controllers are being very, very generous to us tonight. They obviously realise that we brought an aeroplane full of something nice from Spain. Okay, that's put us now high on the path, so let me get the old speed brakes out. How does P3D compare to FSX? There's no comparison really. I mean, it uses a lot more of your GPU. So if you've got a good GPU, I've got a 980 Ti, then it will use a lot more of that, as opposed to FSX, which just kind of craps out a lot. So it's more modern. There's shadows, there's haze, and yeah, it's like it's a different sim. You know, it's probably what FSX would have been if Microsoft had continued to develop it and brought out FSX 2016 or whatever, especially V3, P3D. Some people say it's not really V3, it's really a new sim. It's prepared to, really, if you like. But yeah, I'm a big fan, big fan. Okay, so back on the path after that shortcut got us a little bit high. The reason that you heard the auto brake extend thing is because I was trying to I pulled the speed brake out and the throttles are in hold mode, which basically means that the auto throttle has kind of let go of the throttles. So in that situation you can jump in and you can pull them back manually. Is FSX Steam better? Yeah, the Steam version is a little bit better. Does P3D run in an FSX background? It doesn't really work like that. I mean, P3D is effectively FSX. The code is the same. Like, the thing that it runs on, the scenery is the same. But the engine, the thing that runs it, drives it, and the codecs that generate the scenery and all that stuff are new. So it looks similar, but it's much more modern. The Steam version is a bit optimized. I don't really know a lot about the about what they've done. I don't know a lot about the technicalities of what they did, but they recompiled the code, from what I can understand, and that means that the Steam version of FSX runs a little bit better than the original one. But to be honest, having used P3D a lot now, I couldn't go back to FSX, I'm afraid. If you have the money to buy a lot of your add-ons again, to be honest, the only ones you need to buy again are the PMDG ones. The big expense is going to be the 777 and the NGX. Everything else, the Dash 8, the Q400, that works on both. The Aerosoft A320, that works on both. Pretty much every scenery works on both. So it's only the PMDG ones that you've got to buy again. Active Sky, there's two different versions of that now. There's the P3D version and the FSX version. But to be honest, if you've got P3D, you're going to throw FSX in the bin, so you're not really going to need to buy everything twice, because you'll never need FSX again. Does P3D run in FSX? Oh no, sorry, that's the same question. Sorry. Relay A2A require a new upgrade. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't fly the. I've got the A2A Cherokee, I think. Which I bought forever ago, but it's kind of weird, you know, because I can fly. I learned to fly in a Cherokee, and oh, there's one to go. Let's keep coming down. So 120. I learned to fly in a Cherokee. Well, I've learned to fly in a Tomahawk originally, then a Cherokee, and so I can fly a Cherokee in the real world. I know what it's like to fly a Cherokee because I've flown one. I've learned to fly in it. So I don't have any raging interest to fly it in the sim. I know that's kind of weird, but I can't fly a 777 in real life because I'm not Chris. He's much cleverer than I am, so I'm much more interested to fly a 777 in the sim because I can't fly one in real life. So yeah, I mean, okay, I guess it depends. There are some people who the Flight Angel stream that's just about to start over on YouTube now, any second now. Some of the guys on that, they can't bear the airliners. They're like, oh, why do you want to sit around in a 777 for hours? But I don't know really. It's a bit of a funny one because I don't really like doing long hauls because I get bored. But I don't like tootling around at little GA aeroplanes because I've kind of done that in real life and it's much more fun in the real world. So I kind of want to just do the short, busy flights in the airliners, I guess. So I suppose if anything, I probably should be like a Q400 pilot maybe. Because I think that's like short, busy sectors. The Q400 constantly tries to kill you. So what is Airline2Sim mission? Well, Airline2Sim is a flight sim company, if you like, and what we do is we make videos with real pilots like Chris, who's in the chat now, who flies real aeroplanes like this for a living. We actually make videos of them showing me how to fly the aeroplane properly. So that's it. So we made a training program for the Q400 with a guy from a real airline that operates the Dash 8. We're shortly about to release the 777 program, which is made with a guy from United. And a bit of input from people like Chris along the way. Long haul guys flying 12 days a month. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unless you fly for Emirates, in which case you're flying about 95 hours. I think for your airline, Chris, I think it's a good airline. Air Kyrgyzstan. Johnny going to make a full flight. Yeah, we're going to do some stuff. Johnny's still knocking around. He doesn't fly the 777 anymore. But I'm going to get him in to do... we're going to do a bit, because Myra, the guy that did the main 777 program, he only ever flew the 200. He didn't fly the 300. So I want to do a little differences program, because apparently they are quite different. Oh, I'm sure Chris will chime in with this. The 300 is a little bit different to handle than the 200. It's longer and bigger and heavier, and I think it's different, the takeoff and the landing a little bit, but I'm sure I'll chime in. How do I get such good performance? Well, my computer is not, I mean, it's a good PC. It's a Skylake 6700. It's overclocked 4.7 I think, and a 980 Ti, which is pretty standard these days for a gaming machine. The big difference is the monitor is a 30 Hertz monitor. So most PC monitors are 60 Hertz. And what that means is that if you're not getting 60 frames per second, then you get stutters. With a 30 Hertz monitor, you only need to get 30 frames per second until you get stutters. And it's so the sim is kind of forced to run at 30 frames a second. As long as you get 30 frames a second, then it's really smooth, and that's what I've got. So as you can see, I mean, I don't know how smooth the stream is, but for me this is really smooth. I think the stream depends on what you're watching it on. I'm watching the stream back on a really old iMac, like an ancient iMac from 2008, and the stream is actually, when I move around, it's a tiny little bit laggy. But if I watch it on my phone, which is an iPhone 7 Plus, 7? No, it's not. I wish it was a 7. A 6 Plus, then it's really smooth. So I think it depends on what you watch the stream on. What monitor do I use? It's an AOC 4K 28-inch. Somewhere, I don't know. If you just Google AOC 4K monitors, then that'll be close enough. Please show your sim set. Yeah, I can do that when we land. I'm not going to do it now because I'll have to go to menus and I'll crash the sim. But when we land, if you remind me, I'll show you the sim settings. It's pretty much, it's not all cranked up to the max, but it's not far off it. What's the minimum grade required? I think you're probably going to be pretty smart. Okay, 250 knots at Tipic. So let's have a look. Yeah, I'm glad Chris is paying attention to what's going on. So should I speed into V now and get us slowed down before then? Is that a good idea? By the way, a few people are now joining the stream. Hello, if you just joined us, welcome. This is the Airline2Stream. I'm calling this a Friday stream, as if this is going to be like every Friday I'm going to do this. I probably won't, because I'm normally out doing something else, but this is just a quick little stream. I've never streamed before on YouTube, and I've been doing a bit of it for the last couple of days. And we are flying from Malaga, so we left Malaga about an hour and a half ago. Well, not an hour and a half ago, because we speeded up in the middle, but maybe about 40 minutes ago. We're now coming down into Nice. You like the radio announcer bits here and there? Yeah, well, you know, I do my bits. Luke Pabari in the house. Oh my God! All the big hitters, are here. So, Chris, should I speed intervene and just bring the speed back before the airplane wants to do it, or should I just let it do it itself when it gets to the green dot? Hey, Luke. Alright, so 120 is the crossing altitude at Tipic. Okay, so I should speed intervene now and make sure it's back at 250. Alright, good shout. You may have noticed there is someone in the chat who flies a 777 for a living, and he is proving invaluable. I'll give it a bit of speed brake, help it on the way. I'll try. The pressure is on you and me both here, Chris. You realise that, don't you? Alright, so the next speed limit then is 226 at Sovex, which is around the corner. For those of you who just joined us, let me keep the altitude coming down, or we're going to get high here, aren't we? So, where's the next altitude? It's 3,000 or above. So let's bring us down to 5,000 for now, that'll do. For those of you that just joined us, let me just... Is this coming down? Is it coming down? I'll give it a little bit of speed brake to help it along the way. For those of you that just joined us, we are doing the RNAV arrival into Nice. So it's quite funky. We are coming... we're coming here at the moment. We're at Ablac. And then we're going to come along to Amphu, and then out here. I think that's right. Is that right? Ablac 6 kilo. Yeah, there you go. So it all starts at Muz. And then that joins us up with Sovex, and then we're going to come around Nanex, and then down here, and we're going to try not to kill ourselves doing this approach, which is entirely possible. Did the visual in Tunisia the day on the other side. Yeah, this is the apparently this is the hardest side. The other side is a bit easier than this one. I don't know why. I don't know why it would be easier, but apparently it is. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, Luke. All right, there's 10,000. I'm just going to throw everything on but the taxi light at the moment, just so there's one less thing for me to press when it all gets mental in a moment. Let's keep the heading bug coming around. Okay, we're gone below the profile. That's because the speed brake's out a little bit. Put that back in, Ben. Okay, now because I'm a chicken, I'm gonna wind back to min clean and pull some speed brake. In fact, I don't really need to do that because we're below the profile, so that's fine. All right, so it's all getting kind of busy now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up the chart so I can see what we're doing, because I can't keep flicking back to the LFMN. I can't keep flicking back to the desktop while I'm trying to fly. That's clearly a recipe for air crash investigation. So, why did you crash? Well, I was kind of flicking to the desktop while I was on a stream. Sorry about that. Configure nice and early, give yourself time to focus on the flying. There you go. That's exactly what Chris said. That is exactly what Chris said. I'm glad to see Luke and Chris. You're a match made in heaven of advice. There's also a little bit of weather as well, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be where we are, so that's good. I'm going to put the nose landing light on instead of the others. I don't really think it matters, to be honest. I'm not going to get hung up over which shoulder the lights go in at this stage in the game. So what have we done? We've done the approach. No, we haven't done. We've done the descent checks. We haven't done the approach checks yet. So 5,000 is the transalt, I believe. So let's hit standard, and it is 1011. Okay, 1012. I'm pretty sure at the airfield it's still 1011. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's 1011. So I'm just going to chuck that on the airfield QNH. Saves us getting in a muddle later on. Change standby, 1011. Alright, that's cool. So we're back to being clean, we're below the profile. We're dragging it a little bit, but that's fine. So let's get rid of the checklist. Pravari lol. And a little heart. That's nice. You're all heart, Luke. You are all heart. Alright, so this is where it gets interesting. So, we were saying configured by 4010. Is that right? That's what we said, I believe, Chris, earlier on. So we are going to come around. So Nanox MN 410. So by 410 we want the full wang, yeah. Okay. All right, there's the runway. You should see it over there. There you go. There's Nice. The twinkling lights of Nice. It amazes me how people ever manage to do this without an FMS and RNAV, and you know what I mean? Like trying to do this with like a VOR needle and some NDBs and some knobs. It's hard enough like doing it like this, and this is the aeroplane doing it all. Okay, so we've done the approach check. So the landing checklist is the last thing. We've thrown all the lights on. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. That was somewhere we missed at 10,000. So the taxi light isn't anything that we'll do. I think every airline does the lights differently. Like United, they won't let you put the lights on till you've been cleared to take, like none of the lights till you've been cleared for takeoff, which is different to Emirates. And it's like, seriously, whatever. How does Chris know all this? Chris has probably just flown lots of RNAV approaches, I guess. Okay, there's one to go. So 3,000 at MN 410 is where we're coming down to. So let's just keep coming down to 3,000. We're over the sea, so that's all right. So MN 410, we need to be fully configured at MN 410, and we should see. I seem to remember one thing about this airport is that the runway lighting, there you go, there's the airport over there. I remember people complaining bitterly about the runway lighting, saying that it's not very good. So that could be fun. Right, I'm going to dim the lights a little bit, because I think this is definitely one approach where we want some good night vision. Okay, so it's the world's slowest approach, but slow and steady wins the race, right? So, there's 40 people watching now. There's a few more people arrived recently. Hello, welcome to the stream. So when I do my radio presenter bit. You are watching the Airline2Sim Friday stream. Way, the inaugural one. And we've just done a really quick flight in the 777, the cargo 777F, the freighter version. Just flying up from Malaga in Spain. And now we're just shooting the arrival into Nice. And it's quite a funky one. So I'm going to shut up now and listen to Chris. Flap 1, 7 miles back from Sovex. So that's we're doing 12 miles now. Flap 5-3, yeah, okay. Okay, so there's 3,000, one to go. Hey, Mac. Yeah, we're doing the on-av arrival into Nice, which is a little bit funky because it does have a little visual bit right at the end. So gear and flap at Nanax. Alright, cool. We're massively low on the profile, but that's not a problem. Very happy to be low on the profile. Alright, so So 7 miles to Sovex. Let's go to flap 1. And speed 200. Do the job. And then once we get to 3 miles, then we'll go to flap 5. And then we're going to take the gear and flap 20 at Nanax. Looking good, Ben. There's time for it all to go wrong yet, Chris, don't worry. Alright, so ONAV 22 right to Nice. Let's be having you. Alright, so there's 3.5, there's 3, that's close enough for me, so let's go to flap 5. And the speed 180 will do. And I can set the minimum in now, which is 1260, so let's round it up to 1300 for the purposes of what we're doing. And then alright, so it's making the turn, so okay, let's go gear down. It's probably a little bit early, but I'm a chicken. Let's go flap 15, flap 20, speed 160, and then let's get fully configured by MN410. I think that's the plan. Okay, where is this runway? Where is the runway? Where is... okay, the runway's over there, so... okay, so I'm going to roll the heading round. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so we don't want it to make that turn at MAP 22. So let's go flap 30. Let's bring ourselves back to VREF. What do you recommend for the speed additive on the VREF? What do you guys use, Chris? Okay, so let's go ahead and select. And it should start its way on the path down. Approach ref 142. Oh, okay, so you add 5 knots, yeah? Okay, cool. Whoops. Easy dock fail. Alright, so please come down. Aeroplane, it's coming down. And let's just do the landing checklist real quick. So speed brake arm, landing gear down, flaps 30. We are cleared to land. Okay, so missed approach, 1200 feet. And then we're going to go straight on. It just looks like a lot of lights. So the runway's over there. But which one of those many lights? 327, set miss 3000, alright. Cool. Okay, there you go. So that's the runway down there. See the centre line on the PFD. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah. So what you're saying is that I should punt for the centre line without flying over the land. Alright, cool. Alright, so we've set the mist. I think we've done everything now. So is it flight directors off and then autopilot? I think 156 is a little bit faster. The autopilot off, leave the flight director on. Okay, isn't that going to give me the heading select in the wrong sense? Because I'd have to wang the heading bug around and other stuff then if I did that, wouldn't I? I can't really do that. Am I better without the flight director? Because I haven't got a spare hand to move it around. Okay, so there's the runway. Runway's over there. So we just need to follow this around. Okay, there's the minimums. Okay, I'll call that visual. So, flight directors off and autopilot coming off. So it said we've got to fly around to, or down to 1,000 feet. And then around we go. Happy would be nice. Keep it coming down, Ben. Keep it coming down. I'll leave it on LNAV disconnect. Approaching minimums. Yeah, the problem is that the LNAV doesn't work. The LNAV just takes you straight to the runway center line from the missed approach point. So my understanding is the Emirates one have this turn coded in, but the PMDG doesn't. So I can't actually use RNAV for the final bit. We're a bit high here. Come on, man. Get yourself sorted. There you go. On the glide path now. Yeah, I get too high. Too high. There you go.
500. 400. 300.
This is quite hard, guys, I'm not going to lie. I forgot the taxi light as well, so fire the FO.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Well, there we go. So, heading brake not lined up on the runway heading, and we didn't get the taxi light, but I think apart from that wasn't too bad. I suppose if you were minded, you could probably jump into the FMS and generate a couple of fixes that would probably give you that last bit of the LNAV track, I guess. Okay. Right, guys, so let's turn the landing lights off, turn the strobe lights off, let's get the APU running. Where's the cargo section? I think the cargo section is I think it's over there in the corner. Let's go straight on. Okay, so flaps up, let's retract the speed brake. I need to find the ground chart for Nice. I wonder why we couldn't see anything, and it's because the naughty first officer didn't put the taxi light on, that's why we can't see anything. Right, where is the parking stand? So, are we on Charlie here? Is this Charlie? Yes, it's Charlie. Excellent. Set the terrain off because I don't need to be reminded of all the big mountains that we narrowly avoided. I'm disappointed that the stream is laggy for you guys, because it's still really smooth at my end. It's definitely an issue with the stream, not the actual sim, because the sim is actually really smooth for me. Okay, so what did we say for the parking? Did we say 40? Well, that's A. C. I think it's around the corner here. So let me be a good boy. I'm going to turn off lights and taxi light. We don't blind the poor guy. Let's go around the corner here. I would call up GSX, but it'll just be completely retarded, as it normally is. Okay, 48 is actually a gate. Alright, that's fine. It's near enough the cargo. Okay, that'll do. Note to self next time is plan to stand a bit better. That's fine. Alright, so park brake on. Let's get the storm on so we can see what we're doing. And we've got the APU running, so we're not going to be plunged into darkness. That's good. Cut the engines. Let's do the shutdown flows. So we can turn those off. We don't need those again today. That one last. Pops off. Beacon. And the seatbelts off. Transponder can come off. And okay, shutdown checks. Park and brake. I'll set the chocks. And let's get the... I don't think we bother ground air conditioning because we're not going to be here for long. And Come on. There you go. Got 2 plugs. And APU off. Don't know if you, Chris, do you guys turn the packs off when the APU is shut down? I think it's a bit of an airline SOP thing. Right, so the weather radar. Naughty. That's okay. This Frenchman here is not going to be having any more children. Right, so the parking brake's set. And that is the shutdown checklist complete. Let's throw the doors on his... nope. Up there, please. Okay, well, let me do that for some reason. Don't know why. So let's get the doors disarmed. We don't want any further calamity on today's flight. And there you go. Okay, right, that's that done. Let me run back to the chat and talk to you guys. See what you said. Okay, right. What do we say? Wow, screenshot. Cool. Too high, yeah. It was a little bit too high, a little bit too low, but we got there in the end. You could ignore the lateral axis of the FD flying. You could still use... Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point, Luke. Scary. Flight directors off. Good practice. Yeah. Nice landing. Yeah, it was pretty raw data at the end, wasn't it? Beautiful. Wow, there you go. Oh, that's nice, guys. Thank you. Good job. Cool. That's nice. Taxi lights, yeah. Max, yeah, we forgot those. Okay, no coding in there, I suspect, for visual manoeuvres. It wants the autopilot off and you're hand flying. Yeah, that's a good point. This is Just Sim Nice, correct. EasyDock shake effect was pretty cool. That was just the hardness of the landing. Alright, cool. Back on with the APU. Packs on with the APU, packs off the ground. Alright, yeah, cool. Alright. Istanbul, blah blah blah. Your settings, please. Oh yeah, okay. I'll do that in a second. A380s will be Coke cans in years. Yeah, you will. I don't think the A380's done that well. Singapore Airlines, yeah, they are. They're ditching their oldest one, I think, aren't they? Because the old one's the performance is an issue, isn't it? I think. So I think that's the problem. Right, what were we going to do? I was going to show you the settings for those of you that want to see. So there you go. This is the Ben mid setting. The only difference, I don't have FX AA on. I turn it off. I'm using 8 samples of MSA. Anisotropic is on 16. The texture res is on 2K. I normally use 4, but I use 2 on the stream because streaming does hit the frame rate a tiny little bit. V6 on. Frames are unlimited. Triple buffering is on. I don't use the wide aspect ratio. That does cost you some frames, and you can just readjust the panel to get the same view, but without the frame hit. And I use the full resolution of my monitor, which is 4K. And then scenery, everything's pretty high, as you can see. And then lighting is, well, that's kind of up to you. My shadows are not crazy. Visual settings. 100 miles in the clouds maximum. I don't use any AI traffic when I'm doing streams and stuff because the airplanes just get in the way. But I do have some ships and ferries and I do have some leisure boats. That's about it. I've also gone back to, controversially, Active Sky Next because I found really big frame rate hits with Active Sky 2016 because it would try and draw a very solid cloud cover and it just absolutely murder my frames, so I've gone back to Active Sky Next and it's fine. So let me jump back in the chat. Rec setting. Oh, we're having a bitch fight about airplanes. Rec setting. Okay. I don't know if I can run it with the sim running, but I'll give it a go. Where are we? Texture direct. Are we being nice to one another in the comments? Nice job. Tricky approach, good speed. Tricky at night with the left turn. You use the building on the coastline. Yeah. I guess, did I purchase Active Sky 16 with ASCA? Yeah, I did. I got ASCA, but I don't use it. I use Rex for the textures again. So, low-level clouds, I use this one. I use set 2, I think. Hang on. I use set 2 for high and mid. I use set 1 for low. And then the sky colors, I'm using beyond. I'm using woodlands? I don't think I'm using woodlands. I'm using polluted environment. And then at dusk, I'm using chilly Frankfurt dusk, I think. So, there you go. I think that's right. No, I don't want to do that. And that's it. Okay. Thank you, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. This is where we go to the outside view and see the fact I've left the strobes on or the taxi light or something stupid, but I think I've managed to turn everything off. So there you go. So apart from the fact I managed to park us at a passenger gate almost, that went pretty well. Choo-choo bitches. How we all... Cool background. Wish I had Rex. I have no idea. I found the Active Sky next to get better frames. Yeah, I know. A lot of people said that, and I was hugely disappointed not to find that situation. The normal clouds have better performance than soft clouds. I don't know about the performance, but the clouds look better. My big complaint about P3D was those horrible flat popcorn clouds that just looked rubbish. And I changed from soft clouds back to the hard clouds, and the nice big fluffy clouds are back again. So I don't use soft clouds. Controversial, I know. I'm old school, but and I think the clouds look really good. I mean, if you go look at my... where are we? Let's go to pictures. So these are just some screenies that I've taken over the last few weeks. There you go. So that's they're the normal clouds, and as you can see, there you get the nice big fluffy clouds, and you just don't get those with soft clouds. They're not fluffy. They're kind of more flat. So that's my advice: is hard clouds are the way forward. Why does it say cargo at passenger gate? I don't know. I thought, just to clear this up, that is 40A, and 40A on the chart is a cargo gate. It's definitely a cargo gate. So why it has a gate in the sim, I don't know. Unless, I don't know. I'd need to have a look at the Google Earth view of Nice, but I would say looking at the chart, 40A is a cargo gate because it's right outside the cargo thing. It doesn't look like it has it looks to me like 42 is the last one with an air bridge. So why this one has an air bridge, I don't really know. That is a question for Just Sim, I would imagine. Any other questions? You read my comment? Yeah. Well, I put them out. We're in Nice. We're at Nice. I think, Chris, are you still here? Any quick questions for Chris before we dive off? Otherwise, we go. We wrap it up. That's it. We're done. Do I use P3D Tweak Assistant? Yes, I do. I use... I'll show you this as well while we're here. Whoops. It's here. And I don't know if you can run this with the sim running. Maybe it'll cry. Okay, so I use the pair drag drawbag 1.6 haze combo. And there's some other little things, and no popcorn modificator and a few other things. But I basically, this is the latest setting from PredDrag, and I'll try and link this into the description in the stream, so you can use that. It's really good. It's a complete game changer for P3D. Will I only fly the 777 on the stream? Isn't cargo 26 to 28A? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I just thought looking at the 40A looks like it's in the cargo section. 28 is at a funny angle. 28's over here. Somewhere. There's 26. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As you can see, the jet bridge doesn't quite reach the aeroplane, so we're not going to be using the jet bridge anytime soon. Will there be an FS Labs A320 stream? Yeah, there will. There is an NDA on the A320, so I cannot stream it and show it to you yet. It runs in P3D, and it runs really nicely in P3D, but I can't talk about it or tell you anything or show you anything for now, but bear that in mind. When the airplane shut down, the nav light's left on. Oh yeah, we haven't got the logo light. We're not displaying proud tail colours. There you go. That's a bit better. Only when the bat's on. Yeah, well, I mean, we could do a shutdown. I guess it's pretty rare that you actually shut down a 777, because do you have to turn all the monitors off and all that? I can't really be bothered to do all that. I think I'd leave that to the engineer, to be honest. I don't think you shut down a 777 to cold very often, I guess. Does it run better than FSX? Yes, it does. It runs significantly faster on my PC than in FSX. But all aeroplanes do. The 777 runs much faster. The NGX runs better. All aeroplanes run better in P3D. But yes, the frames are significantly better in P3D. But I can't say any more than that. Ground power on, battery off, nav logo on. Right, okay. I'm excited about the CRJ. I was a beta flyer of the CRJ about a year ago before somebody put it on the internet and leaked it. It's a nice aeroplane, but it was just very unfinished. There were lots of systems that didn't work, and there were sounds that weren't finished. So when you turn all the batteries on, there was no noise. So it will be a lovely aeroplane when it's finished. I hope they get it done. American just take out all the logo lights to save money. I think a lot of airlines don't use logo lights for precisely that reason. Cool. All right. Right. I think we're done. I've got to go and help out on the Flight Angel stream now, because Frugal is 40 minutes into his stream, and I need to go away and do some moderation and all that good stuff. So it's been fun. Thank you, guys. Chris, thank you so much for helping out. You really helped us get down on the ground there at Nice. It was very good of you to help me out. Luke, nice to have you here as well. Josh, hey yo. And all the other guys, I will see you around. Don't know when the next stream's going to be. I'm knocking around tomorrow, so I might jump on tomorrow and do something. But you will see me tomorrow night at 7 PM. I'm doing the Flight Angels stream, and my leg is from Stockholm to Helsinki. And that's again going to be in the 777, and it's going to be Orbik Stockholm, which is a really nice scenery and looks really nice in the sim. I'm flying to Helsinki, which is Aerosoft, which looks quite nice as well. And it's in the day and it's nice weather, so it'll be a nice scenic flight. So if you can join us for that tomorrow, that'd be cool. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time through. Bye bye.